Coming to you live from the Business Radio X studio, it's Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by IDS, an award-winning digital marketing agency that delivers integrated marketing solutions for franchisors, franchisees, and franchise development teams. Learn why over 75 brands depend on IDS's team of dedicated marketers and client service professionals to deliver a strong ROI on their marketing investment. Go to idsfranchisemarketing.com for a complimentary digital audit and consultation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Franchise Marketing Radio. I'm Rob Ganley. I'm your host, and I am here today with the CEO of Premium Service Brands, Paul Flick. It's great to have you on the show today, Paul.
Thanks, Rob, and I appreciate you having me today.
You got it. It's always great to have you. A lot to talk about. I know that there's been some change for all of us in the last few years, but you guys have been doing some unique things and making some decisions, I should say, for the future. So tell us a little bit about Premium Service Brands and some of the brands underneath that platform.
Sure. Well, again, thanks for having me. Premium Service Brands is a platform company. We are a franchisor in the home service industry. And we have 9 different franchise systems with all different service offerings that are all focused on the same end user for the most part. And typically our end user is a residential homeowner, which accounts for about 80 to 90% of our revenue. And then we do some light commercial work. And the service offerings are anywhere from painting, 360 painting, to ProLift garage doors, Made Right, which is house cleaning, Ruderman plumbing. So we've got a lot of different lines that we're able to really offer that end user, which is a single family homeowner.
I was just thinking you're describing that as a homeowner, just all those different things and convenience, or just knowing you could work with one brand or one company in a sense, right? With the same ideas, the same culture, and the same reliability, right? And predictability of service. But there's all very different, but kind of like, it hits all the angles of running a house. And that's really important. So tell me a little bit about that. First of all, you have acquired some new brands as of late, of the last year or so. Tell me a little bit about your plans for the future and how all that works together.
So we're always continuously looking for additional franchisors to acquire. We have, out of the 9 brands we currently have today, I started 3 of them organically. The other ones have came through acquisition. We will continue to acquire other service offerings. That could be landscaping, that could be window cleaning, but other service offerings or lines that we don't offer today. That way, we're able to transition that franchise system over to our platform, but also give another line of service we can offer to that end user. Because as you said, once you instill the confidence in that customer, then they're apt to use us with our other services. The industry is very fragmented. It's customer service deficient. It's marketing deficient, technology deficient. So if we're able to offer certainty and consistency with one customer experience, we can then sell our other services to that same homeowner.
Yeah. And I heard landscaping and lighting for anybody out there, right? Paul just said something you might want to tune into. That's interesting. But no, that's amazing though, when you think about it from a business opportunity standpoint, right? Really it is one of the hardest things in marketing and in sales is getting the first relationship started. And once you have that, most of us want to rely on each other and say, I got a guy for that, or I can depend on, I got a solution. And they end up, it doesn't matter if you do it or not. They'll just ask you, like, who should I use? Is that kind of a relationship can emerge. So tell me, I know, obviously in a franchise brand, a franchise network, everybody's success is tied together, right? And some of the key metrics or KPIs that I know you guys think about are at the unit level, the financials. Are they healthy? Are they doing well? Are they growing? And of course, that then relates to your ability to expand, right? And grow and acquire, more owners and more folks to take new territories. So tell me how do you achieve that success? How do you make sure that the local owners are successful? What are some of the key things you look at as a CEO above all your teams? Like, what are you really keeping an eye on to make sure that metric is always moving in the right direction?
Yeah, I think the key or the biggest metric is their launch, and that is really their initial training. So our initial training, it consists of 4 weeks. 1 week is onboarding. So all the new franchise partners are onboarded into our system with logins, and they're getting their licenses, insurance, business, LLCs, et cetera. The next 2 are a virtual training, where we're using virtual reality to help them hone their skills in terms of how do you recruit employees, technicians, subcontractors, how do you do sales to the end user. And then it's 1 week in Charlottesville at our head office here, classroom style. So we're bringing all the people that have spent the last 3 weeks onboarding and then 2 virtual into Charlottesville so our whole training is 4 months. And then they're assigned to a launch coach. And that launch coach is right there to ensure that they're not making mistakes, that they're staying on their budgets, on their plan to execute. Because the greater success they see initially out of the gate, the more they're going to continue to invest in their business when they see things are working. Does that make sense?
Oh, man. Yeah, it totally makes sense. And it's so important, that early momentum, the speed to success, or the speed to, some type of cash flow that lets you operate and feel confident and move forward. Right.
That's right.
So that is the first step. And then it's, I know in the franchise world, it's really, it's up to the owners how far they want to take it. Some are much larger than others, but point is all of them want to build something special. Right. And so they have a different growth plan maybe, but it all starts with that launch and getting going. It
does.
Because yeah. So you mentioned earlier, you serve a fragmented market and there's a lot of players. You mentioned, deficiencies and some things. Tell me a little bit about the marketing. Let's start there and then maybe get into the technology, because I know you guys are probably also keeping an eye on what technology matters, right? Because we could talk about technology all day and it's not always what matters for your business model, right? So I'd love to learn a little bit about how you look at marketing. And I know it may vary across the brands, but it is home services. So tell us a little bit of how marketing plays a role.
Yeah, initially starting out and ongoing, marketing is critical. You've got to be able to stay in front of the customer, be able to drive leads. Those leads turn into estimates or jobs, and then obviously into revenue. So marketing is the backbone, of every business. And we are in the home service industry. It's over $500 billion annually. So it's a massive industry dominated by Chuck in the truck, who's operating his business from a cell phone in his back pocket as he's doing the trade. So we want our franchise partners to be working on the business, not in it. Now, every franchise partner comes to, premium service brands and whatever brand they buy, whether it's ProLift, House Doctors, KitchenWise, we set up a business plan that's based on their goals. The loftier their goals are, obviously, the more they have to invest in marketing initiatives. And it's their plan and their goals. So, for us, as you said, a lot of the marketing initiatives are similar across all brands. Right. Some we tweak a little bit here and there, but we're able to, given our size and economies of scale, be able to test things out in certain systems and understand what works and doesn't work. So we're able to share across all of our systems what we have found out. So we're able to invest, drive, obviously make mistakes before franchisees are making those mistakes. So, and then we're able to leverage our vendors, whether it's Home Advisors, whether it's Angie's List, CraftJack, to get better pricing for our franchise partners, because they're, at the end of the day, it's all the same end user. And we want to be able to leverage that end user.
Yeah. And those platforms, they've built up, massive audiences and reputations, and, why fight it, right? It's good to have organic marketing. but you also have to play the other side too. And then having a presence there too, reviews and reputation, and so important. So you got to play both sides of that. And so really it's all about getting that momentum early on, getting that phone ringing, isn't it? Is that pretty much what it is? Get the phone ringing so they get appointments, so they can get and do the thing that you guys are good at. I mean, look, once you got a customer, it's probably pretty easy to fulfill the promise, I would think, right? You have really nailed down in terms of service delivery.
It's the most important thing, Rob, is instilling that trust with the customer and doing the little things they don't expect, like showing up on time, delivering on your promises. And once that customer has a good experience with one of the premium service brands, so whether it's a Made Right or whether it's Rubbish Works or Closet Wise, if they have a good experience, what we do is we leverage that customer experience through our platform called Home One. And we are marketing the other services we have in that area, so our other franchise partners, to that end user. So if they've used 360 Painting, that's a customer that's going to call a company to paint their home. That same customer is going to call somebody to clean their home or do handyman work or fix their garage door. So we constantly are advertising to our end user that has had an experience with one of our brands through Home One.
Wow. That's brilliant. I mean, it's what we talked about earlier, but that's putting it into practice, right? You have it, but now you're letting the customer know this is us, right? Premium. And we have these other things we do, and staying top of mind, that little thing, just letting them know, right? Which is hard for the franchisee to do when it's just not automatic, right? It's just in the course of doing business, you will know that we work with these other folks too. And that's brilliant. That's helpful. And again, not every opportunity looks like that, right? If you're getting involved with a solo brand, which is fine. That's great. I talk to them all the time.
Absolutely.
But the platforms, I mean, there's a reason we're doing that in our industry. And I think it's important. It's all about value. Well, first to the business owner and then to the consumer. And I would say that when I think of franchising in general, all the brands out there that I see every day, I still depend, I know, and not just because I'm involved in the industry, but I just have that feeling I can depend on those brands simply because they're marketed a little better. Like you said, if they're checking a truck, you don't even have that on the side. It's just a truck. You might not even trust the truck. You be like a little.
No, that's exactly it.
Yeah. So that it's very extremely helpful when it comes to marketing. So we talked a little bit about technology deficient as well, and you talked a little bit about Home One. So is that a platform across all the brands that is used to execute the business and take payment and keep track of scheduling and the business and all that? Is that what that is? It's like service delivery, customer service oriented.
So Home One is really strictly a marketing platform. So any customer that has requested an estimate, has a job underway or a past job, we are marketing to those customers the other services we happen to have in that same area. So we have multiple brands, multiple franchise partners. So we're leveraging that end user. As far as collecting payment and the KPIs that you talk about, that's all done through our platform and using Service Titan. So Home One is strictly a marketing initiative that is leveraging the end user. So we're able to provide our franchise partners with customer leads with no customer acquisition costs for them. But the technology, the in-field software is Service Titan, and that all downloads into a platform that they're able to track and manage their business in real time.
Yeah. I mean, these are decisions that are really hard to make, right? If you're a business owner, like if you're trying to do it yourself, you just don't make the decision. You don't even try to. And technology just continues to evolve. And you had mentioned earlier how you have a sort of a built-in R&D because you can start with maybe one market, one brand, and kind of do a test that you have obviously you believe in, and have a little data to support because I do a little of that myself. I know what that's like. You don't go in blind. You go in with intuition and a hypothesis. But so you do that, and to do that to have that being done for you, like there is, I can't even put a price tag on that there are companies that pay for those things. So that's great. And so you do that, but tell me more about how building an internal team has helped. And I know you depend on your vendors, but you have a really good team, and they're just, I've read some things about them, but tell me a little bit more about your marketing team and how they're supporting all 9 of these brands.
Yeah, we've got an amazing marketing team that is led by Mark Montini. Mark has got a deep background in marketing, but also specifically in the home service industry. And we've got a team, I think it's 14, 15 people on the marketing team that their whole focus is to create efficiencies to generate leads for our franchise partners. So they're creating programs, a playbook for franchise partners to follow, invest in based on what their financial goals are. But they're there to track and manage what's working, what's not, communicating that out to the system. And a lot of that stuff is just not efficient for a one-man show to ever implement. So we're able to do that across all of our brands because, as you said, the same customer who has their house painted by a company is the same customer that's going to have their house cleaned or have closets installed. So, it's a lot more cost effective for us to do it, versus a single, man in a van.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can't, some of the tech I come across, and I've been doing this for years. It's always been this way. It's less that this way now. And that is that it is hard. You can't afford certain things. It's not in that space, right? They're only marketing to larger businesses. And you have to have, so you don't get the benefit. Now that's changing more now where there is more, but then there's this inability. You don't have the time. You don't have time to kick tires all day and right. Get into spaces you don't know much about. So, but that's right. And without those economies of scale and those relationships, it's really hard to get into the most advanced things that are out there right now.
That's right.
Because you have to play at a different level. So that's really awesome. So listen, I appreciate your time today, and I could sit here for hours and talk about this stuff, but I want to make sure before we wrap things up, you might be able to share with the audience just one thing that has kind of guided you. You've obviously, I know you've been doing this a long time. You're leading 9 brands. You're a CEO. How do you pull that off? Is there one thing that kind of guides you every day and the people know you for, kind of know about you, or is there anything you could share with the audience?
Yeah, I think the culture that we've created here at PSB is one that allows anybody to share their thoughts and have others listen and welcome them and respect those thoughts. And it gets down to the people you hire, and the franchise partners you have come into your system. We don't manufacture anything. So the value we have, the assets we have are the people that are interacting and trying to facilitate the success of our franchise partners. So everything is about hiring the right people and treating them the right way.
Yeah. No, I tell you, I appreciate that. And I think that's one of the most important things. And if you think about profitability, I think I read an article recently, and they did a survey as well of franchisors, and 2 of their top priorities, concerns, whatever, were profitability and people. Mm-hmm. So, and one links to the other. If you got the right people, the profitability to probably take care of it. The
profitability will come if the right people are there working every day.
And another guy shared with me once, he said, know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, and go hire the people that can fill in those weaknesses, right?
Very
but
true.
It's really having that vision. Like you got to know that though, you got to know the questions to ask.
Yeah, no, for sure. You've got to hire the right people that complement your weaknesses or strengths, whatever way you want to look at it.
Exactly. So I appreciate that. Yes, I think leadership does require some humility, right? And that's what makes some of the best leaders in the world. So I appreciate that. It's great having you on the show today. And I just, again, thank you. But before I let everybody go, I would like to ask you, is there one place they could go visit that they could really learn about premium service brands and everything you're doing?
Yeah, I think the corporate website would be the best, and that'll direct them to the 9 different brands. It's premiumservicebrands.com.
All right, perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on the show today, Paul.
Thanks, Rob. Have a great day.